Sue, Michael, the cameras are rolling. We need to settle down. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I think we should turn the cameras to the audience. Our cameras are on. We need to start the meeting. Michael, Suze. Yeah. Good evening.
Last time you got to do that.
I know.
Maybe.
No, I'm. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I want to call to order the special meeting of the City Council of the City of Pacifica. This is our reorganization meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Here.
Councilmember Stone.
Here.
Councilmember Degree.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Irvin.
Present.
Mayor Neihardt.
Present. This evening, we have a very special presentation for the flag. We have Evan Clark and Trey Clark of Weeblos Cub Scouts, and they're going to join us and present the flag and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
May the audience please rise. May the audience please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I met those young men last night, and I invited them to attend, and I thought it was a lovely job. Thank you so much, Trey and Evan. And their father, Kevin Clark, was coaching. Okay, with that, it brings us to our special order of business, and we need to rearrange the schedule just a little teeny bit because we have people that want to pay tribute to our departing council member. So we are going to move up our recognition and our parting thoughts for Councilmember Stone. Lynn, on behalf of the council, I want to say that it has been an honor to serve with you. You have worked like nobody I've seen in this role. You've worked the community, you've worked in terms of policy, you've worked in terms of change. You've helped with some structural changes that needed to bring on organization within city government. You took on special agendas that really changed a lot of different things, and I can't say enough how much I appreciate that. And on behalf of the council, I'd like to present you with a small token.
And the card.
And the card, where did it go? I'm getting a cue from my Mayor Pro Tem. And as usual, we're not quite together. A small token and a great big thank you. Do you have some things you want to say? And then I think I have some people that want to say some things to you.
Sure. Not one to kind of talk about myself or these things. I'm more, as you guys know, excited about issues and making change and progress. And I appreciate those kind words. And I just want to say that I really feel the same way about the council. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve with each one of you. And also the other council members that I've served with, which is Councilmember Vreeland, Councilmember Jarnett, and also for a short time, Councilmember Jakewith. It's been a real honor. I think when you step into a role like this, you never know what's going to happen. You never know how you're going to be accepted, especially as a young person. I was elected at 29 years old. And a good friend of mine said that they won't bring up your age. He's a council member down in Southern California. He said they won't bring up your age until they really disagree with you. And then that'll be a big problem. But it never really happened, and I think that was great. And I really wanted to thank the staff that I've worked with. It's been a pleasure at every level, the different department heads, but also just being a part of an organization that has a lot of heart. And our city has a ton of heart, whether it's the staff or even just the community. And being in this position, it's kind of what you make of it. It is a title, but it's just an opportunity. And I hope that, I took as much of that opportunity to be able to be more a part of the community, to understand the community more, and to do as good of a job as I could. And, I know there's political issues sometimes that come up that divide us, but I hope that regardless of that, people will think that I gave it my all, and I think that would be the greatest compliment that I could have. And so thank you. I think when I ran in 2010, it was, everyone runs for a reason, and for me, it was just the budget. That was the big thing. I saw us hemorrhaging money at millions of dollars a year, and that was my big thing that I wanted to accomplish. And thank goodness that there was a group of council members that wanted to take that on, because no council member can do anything. They can't do anything by themselves, regardless of what you might think. So it takes a group, and it takes people that really want to work towards a common goal to work through those problems. And I was lucky enough to be a part of that over the last 4 years. And we took that huge budget deficit and balanced the budget for the last 3 years, and that's what I'm most proud of. And of course, along the way, there's lots of different issues that we got to work on, whether it was communication or economic plans and all these other things, the structural changes that the mayor mentioned. But I always used to say, regardless of our politics, and of course everyone knows Pacifica's slightly politically engaged community, but regardless of the politics, we need to have the organization of the city be healthy. Regardless of where you want to direct the ship, if you can't direct it, if it doesn't have an engine, you can't direct it in that place that you want to go. And that's the big thing we'll be looking for. I know going forward as a community is just having us be healthy, so that we can have our squabbles and our discussions and our community vigorous conversations that we're famous for, and but be healthy in that direction, whatever we decide. So I just want to thank you all for the opportunity, thank the public for the opportunity for electing me. And I think the biggest thank you of all goes to my wife, Jessica, who's here. The meetings, the hours, the support, and my 2 children are here, Henry and Scarlett. You want to wave, guys? Mm-hmm. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to serve, and it's been great, but I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time with them. So, thank you.
Before I know council wants to say a few things, I'm going to ask, the people that have spoken to me about speaking, and we have our state senator, Jerry Hill, here, who's made a special trip just to...
Thank you, thank you, Madam Mayor. It was interesting listening to your comments, Lynn, because I've known you for quite a while, and in that short time, actually, in terms of our lifespan, I have really proudly can call you a friend. I had such great expectations when you were running and when you were elected, and you met every one of them. The budget issue was a strong one that this council was grappling with and dealing with, and it was a troubling situation, and you tackled that, and that was your goal, and you were, with the council's help and support, you were able to accomplish that, and I thought that was very astute and certainly very timely, and something that really is a gift to the city of Pacifica for for being able to do that, and your time to serve, and which I think is, and what I have a great deal of respect for you, is you never let the job, the position define you. You were a strong, good man and a good person before, and as a council member and as a mayor, you were a good person and you were strong, just as you are and just as you leave this council today. You didn't get, as I sometimes see, and when I was a council member in San Mateo, some members, when they become mayor, they get mayoritis. That doesn't really plague as a problem in Pacifica, but you exemplified the fact that you strongly serve the city and its interest, and you work so hard, diligently, all the time to do that. And I thought that was phenomenal, especially with a young family. It's so difficult and challenging. But I wanted to come tonight and, on behalf of myself and Assemblymember Kevin Mullen, we have a resolution from the state legislature to just thank you for the support that you gave to the city, for the leadership that you provided to the city of Pacifica, and the opportunity that you gave for all of us to work with you and to really cherish that opportunity. And really the part that is, I think, is significant, when you look at the budget issues and also the trail now that we have is connected, and the work I know is a priority, you really worked hard at that, and even the street lights and the working and the energy saving with the solar installations, the little things that are really, when you look at and talk about legacy, those are the things that are important, and those are the things that you'll be remembered for, and I'm so appreciative of that. And on behalf of the state of California, thank you very much for that leadership. And may I give you this, Len, and remember to you?
Thank you, Jerry. And I believe, Katrina, you didn't actually say anything.
Trina's there, and so is.
Yeah, there we go.
Albright.
She didn't ask, I just wanted.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
City Council, staff. Len, I remember 4 years ago when I met you for the very first time. Unlike Jerry, I didn't know you before at all. I didn't know you, I didn't know what to expect. But I very, very quickly saw how much you love Pacifica and how much you wanted to thrive. You were full of energy, you were full of ideas, and for the last 4 years, you've served with distinction. And you've always focused on the things in Pacifica that makes it so special. You've been an absolute champion of economic development. You deserve credit for the creation of the new position of the Economic Development Director. I also remember when you came to the county fair, to Congresswoman Jackie Spears' Make It in America fair. And Steny Hoyer, the Democratic Minority Whip, was there from Washington to visit. And Jackie introduced Len and said, Steny Hoyer, this is Len Stone, the mayor of Pacifica. And he shook his hand and kind of mumbled, he's like, I'm not really dressed like a mayor. He was wearing shorts. And Steny Hoyer took a quick look at him and said, you look exactly what a mayor should look like. And I think Steny Hoyer is right. I'm going to miss you. On behalf of Congresswoman Spear, I would like to thank you for your service on the City Council. She did read you into the congressional record, which is the official history of the House of Representatives. So allow me to read one paragraph from the congressional record. Mr. Speaker, it is never easy or simple to serve in local government. If times are good, then the neighbors expect a great deal. If times are not so great, then the neighbors wonder why you're shuttering a popular local field or laying off longtime personnel or considering changes to services of the city. Len Stone is an example of a local council member throughout our nation. He is smart, tenacious, and deeply committed to the community that he serves at the great expense of his personal time and his family life. Please join me in honoring the public service of Len Stone, departing City Council member of Pacifica. Thankfully, he will retire from public life, but not from the community that he and his family love. Pacifica will therefore continue to have the talents of this resourceful young man and call upon him in the years to come. Thank you.
And I see Chris Hunter in the back.
And Wayne Lee's here.
I know that, but he's last.
Thank you. I just wanted to take a brief moment to say, on behalf of the County Board of Supervisors and on Supervisor Don Horsley, thank you for your public service. It is one of the challenges of living in a democracy to put your neck on the line for the voters and then do the best you can for them and for what you believe in. Len, you've done a great job. 4 years is a college education. And so it's a lot long. It goes fast when you're in office, but you've done a great job and have collaborated a lot with Don Horsley on projects and reached out and been open. And he wanted to wish you the very best and thank you for your service.
Thank you. And I also have a special request from the very recently former mayor of the city of Millbrae and council member Wayne Lee.
Wondering what's the city of Millbrae doing here in City Pacifica. Well, my history is that I've lived in Millbrae. I went to school in Millbrae from elementary school all the way to high school, and I graduated here, formed the first Civil Air Patrol unit here. Sat up there as a youth commissioner. So this brings back memory. And when I met Lynn, first of all, he's a young man, but he's wise beyond his age, obviously. So enthusiastic, he wants to, and I see that politics hasn't changed too much in Pacifica. The items might have changed, but I guess the level of commitment of the citizens are about the same. So I really applaud Pacifica for that. I'm going to a few more things because I just want to thank Mary Ann for all the work you've done. You serve on many seats, and you as the mayor of Pacifica, I thought you represented Pacifica very well. And I just want to thank you, Mary. And I'm looking forward to working with Karen as you come up as mayor, and congratulate on your re-election, as well as I'm looking forward to working with the new council member, Ms. O'Connell. But back to Lynn. Lynn, I just, the council felt, we have a lot of connections with the coast. My city manager, she lives on the coast, and of course, I grew up in Pacifica. So what happens in the coast, people think that you're ignored, but you're not. You know, you're a very central part of our economy. We have many ties. Pacifica is well represented by Mary Ann. So the city of Pacifica should be very proud. So we just want to just show our appreciation, our respect to the city of Pacifica, and especially the contribution from Lynn and your family, because I know it's a big sacrifice for your family to allow you to come to meetings and promote Pacifica. And you've done a fine job. We have a small budget, so we don't have a nice frame, so I would apologize.
We do the same thing.
So we'd let the big guns go first. But this is signed by all the council members of the city of Pacifica. And Lynn, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for the city and the commitment you stepped up to. And I hope that you keep staying committed in some way or another. And I know you have a bright future here. Thank you.
Okay, I think I've covered everybody from the audience. So I'm going to bring it back to council, and I have a light from Councilmember Degree.
All right, Len, I want to thank you. Stepping forward to run for office is very difficult, as all of us here can attest, and thank your family, too. That is very true. You have a young family, and so your wife and children really appreciate all that you've done. I know that you're back there, and I see Len with his two little children, and that's very heartwarming, and I'm sure you're going to be enjoying more time with them, and it goes fast. I would assume this is not your last time in public office, because you are young. And children will grow up rather quickly, and then you'll still be young. Then you have grandchildren, and you're even younger. But lost my train of thought here. So anyway, I appreciate it. It's been hard times. The economy wasn't boosting. Getting a balanced budget was very trying and very difficult. And I'm sorry that the economy wasn't right there with you, so we could have seen a lot more richer things, but I appreciate it.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Unlike, well, Karen and I both came on the council when Len was already here, and he was a veteran of 2 years and stuff. And so he would take in, we'd meet at Kenny's for lunch several times, and he ate a lot healthier than I do, I gotta say. He ordered brown rice, I ordered white, and so, and stuff. But the one thing I always will think about with Len is the values he has, and one of the values he has is his family and the future of Pacifica. One of my favorite memories is one time in closed session, he was in there and he had this little Matchbox car, and we asked him, why are you playing with the Matchbox car? And he says, well, it's my son Henry's birthday, and he let me have his favorite car for the day. So I just remember that, and I thought that was it's a great testament of a daddy, and I think that's really important not to lose that value. So take care, Len, and we'll have to do a lunch again. I'll order brown and
I'll get you on brown rice, Mike.
Yeah, okay.
And Mayor Pro Tem Irvin.
So I first met Len probably in 2010 when you were running for election, and I didn't know you, and I had heard about you, but wasn't sure, what to think. And the first time I met you, I was so impressed with your passion for what you were doing, with your friendliness, with your willingness to sit down and talk about issues, and your interest in what everybody else was saying. We actually met at a Pacific Education Foundation party and meeting, and we just had a great conversation, and I, ever since then, have so valued your opinions and the way you support people and encourage people. And even if we all the time didn't agree, whether we agreed or not, we always had a great conversation, and we always were able to go back and forth and really bounce ideas off of each other. And you just became, you were just very helpful to me, and I do honestly cherish our friendship, and I will miss you very much, and yet I am very happy that you're going to be able to spend more time with your beautiful wife and your beautiful children. I know they're very young, and it's an important time to do that. But I also do hope that one day that you do come back to the arena of politics, because honestly, I think you're a natural. I think you offer a great deal to the community. When you say you're going to do something, you jump right in and you go. When I was even campaigning, or just when Len says he's going to do something, he goes all out and he does it with full force. And it's very inspiring and motivational. So he's just a great human being, and I will miss you very much. And I thank you very much as well for all of your support through the last 4+ years that I've known you, and I wish you all the best, and I hope we continue our friendship through the years. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Okay. Well, we don't kick you out quite yet.
Not yet.
But soon. Actually, the next item on the agenda is the outgoing mayor's remarks. And I have to say, given, everything that's going on, and the fact that we suddenly activated kind of a soft activation of emergency response at the VA, my day got down to literally 15 minutes before. So here are my thoughts. I really want to thank the public for allowing me the opportunity to serve. It's a humbling experience. It's a constant reminder of all the things that we have to do to bring ourselves together and move ahead as a democracy and locally as a city. You will have people that you disagree with wholeheartedly about an issue, but they remain your friends and neighbors. They remain the people that you care about. Sometimes the things people say will, end up on blogs or in other places and feel very hurtful. But they are still your neighbors and the people that tonight you may turn to for help. It is the very essence of what community is about and the reason I chose Pacifica as my home. I love this community, and I will continue to love it, and it is humbling to serve as your mayor. I will say this has been a year of some incredible changes, and not all those changes are necessarily obvious. There's been, in City Hall, a palpable change. When you walk in, it's just, the energy is completely different. There's been change in practice. There's been change in accounting and in finance. There's been change in policies. There's been change in outreach. There's been change of clarity and communication and continue effort in moving that forward. There's been change in staff morale, and it is becoming infectious. And it has all been led largely by our city manager, but more importantly, the engagement of every single staff member. The executive team is working in a way that it's just an honor to watch them flourish, to watch people step up in different roles, to lead community meetings in ways that they were never given an opportunity to do before. And I am so proud to have every single one of them as a staff member and to represent our city. So thank you, not just to Lori, although we did get to choose her, but thank you to the executive team, and thank you to every single staff member. And right now, tonight, thank you to Public Works. Because when we're sleeping as our houses are blowing, you're going to be out there making sure everything stays in one place and keeps running. And I know that, and I'll be thinking about you. Lori, it's been a pleasure, and it's been an honor to serve with you for your first full year here as your mayor. Council. I can't thank this council enough. This past year, many people sort of think about these meetings as being what we do, but you guys stepped up in ways, I'm chair of the City and County Association of Governments, and all that stuff, but you all go to those committee meetings and represent us in ways that are essential for our community. I have to say, Sue, Mike, Len, Karen, you've all done the city proud, and it has been, again, an honor to serve as your mayor. Without your efforts, Lindemar Boulevard may have not made the cut, and we have pavement. Without your efforts, we wouldn't have an extra $1 million for Palmetto. Without your efforts, there are many projects that would have not necessarily moved forward in the county, and that money comes from your tax dollars back to the county and is divided up through those councils, as you heard about the City and County Association of Governments. So what we do in this city and outside representing you is essential for meeting the needs of our community. So I'm very proud to have served with all of you. So every mayor has an agenda. Every mayor starts out with some really good wishes and some things that they wanted to accomplish during their year. And I, needless to say, did that. I was trying to think about all of those, and I find it interesting that we're facing a major storm tonight when something that I've been working on is finally coming into some fruition. Ever since when Sue was mayor in 2009, and we walked Esplanade Apartments with Congresswoman Spear, and saw how much erosion and how much frustrating impact can happen, I have been interested in sea level rise and what it's done to our coastal community. And I have been putting that together in a number of different ways, working on coastal sediment realignment, working with the Army Corps of Engineer money, working with the Association of Bay Area Governments, ultimately working with David Pine and his move forward on the Bay. But I've badgered Don Horsley repeatedly into now having a joint meeting, not just working on coastal erosion and sea level rise on the Bay side, but actually doing some planning meetings for coastal erosion on our side. And since his district carries the bulk of the coastline of San Mateo, it makes sense that it's his office that has staff dedicated to that issue. I am very proud to have been part of that and to continue to move forward in working on that. Beautification was just a piece of what we wanted to do in Pacifica because we want to show how proud we are. And, you know, over time, when budgets cut back in the state, there's less and less attention to things like picking up trash. And it is amazing to have such a great group of volunteers through the Beach Coalition to really focus on those issues, but that's a few times a year, and if you've noticed, it gathers in the highway. Now, Caltrans being Caltrans is not always easy, but I talked about Highway 1 is our main street, and when you come into town, you really want to see it in a different light. Talking to people at Caltrans, working with folks, working with Van, working with other staff in our Public Works Department, and certainly not the least of which is Aaron Clark, deserves particular call out for all his work on the trees. Absolutely. We have made some significant improvements. I think Aaron would have a comment or two about how the trees look, but okay, I'll leave that for Aaron. But we need to move forward on that, and the next step is really working on the Adopt a Highway project that comes out of the Beautification Advisory Committee and getting sections of the trash picked up. And Caltrans has been very supportive, and we have agreement from our district office to move forward in that regard. I have to tell you, it may seem like low impact, but it's an essential piece of when people come to our community, the first things they see, the ocean and then the highway. We continue to work on the coastal trail, and I will continue even after this to work on it. When we want to complete the biking and hiking trail to ultimately connect Pacifica to the new Devil's Slide County Park, that's a piece we have yet to do, and we have to gain that money from the outside to be able to do it. We will work not just in our city staff, but with the land trust as well as with the county to bring forward monies that will be designated just for that trail and building that connection. Now, how are we going to do that? One of the first steps is what we have to do with the Association of Bay Area Governments, ABAG. And that first step is to have a priority conservation area designation. And we will move forward with that in the first part of this year. And staff are already working on it. And that's something that I really want to shepherd through the Association of Bay Area Governments. So those are some things that I had wanted to work on and continue to work on. But some of the challenges that face a mayor aren't things that you planned for. They really aren't things that you anticipated doing at all. It was unfortunate that during my term, tragedy struck in our community. Tragedy that all too often is facing people throughout the nation in other communities. And out of that tragedy, the fortunate thing is we had people that came together to step up and work with moving access for mental health services much more fully into our city. Now, it's a beginning steps, but our police department recognized the binds that they were caught in. And you see this all over the news everywhere. We held meetings with the county. One of the striking things that came out of that was the recognition that there were all these services that we didn't know about, that we didn't have access to. Our police department now has proactive resources for individuals they meet coming along the way that may need services in the future, may turn them down the first time, the second time, the third time, but they have a list of those resources available that they didn't have before. Our police department also has resources in a training that has been completed by all the members in our department, but they have also been shared by Chief Tassa, who took this forward to the rest of the county. And that is training that has been put together by other police departments to give you situational examples of working with individuals that have schizophrenia, may be hallucinating, individuals with autism, individuals that may be having other mental health challenges. And the department has access to reviewing scenarios that take skills and abilities and that they learn in post-training and in their crisis intervention training, the police officers training, and also in the crisis intervention training. There's a habit we all get into of using acronyms. But they can review those and apply them on a day-to-day basis. But most important, when we get into a crisis like what occurred in our city, the county has moved forward to fund the first PERT team, which is the Psychological Emergency Response Team. The assistant county manager often sees me coming now and kind of wants to duck because, okay, Marianne, we're getting the mental health services. Because that first team is only the beginning as far as I'm concerned. We need more services because our population in Pacifica has access issues, and I am dedicating myself to that. It is interesting in my role in other areas of my life that I can make that a national project, and I have the support of the American Psychiatric Nurses Association to do that. And I'm here to announce that I just found out yesterday that other nursing organizations are pulling together a collaborative in honor of just this issue to look at first responders' skills and what they need on the streets in terms of working with challenges around mental health. That started here in Pacifica. So, many things that happen as you plan them, and some things that you don't plan to have happen at all turn into something that's very good. As mayor, I'm most proud of the collaboration and the work that we've done together on mental health. And in some small way, I think that makes a difference for everyone, not just in Pacifica, but throughout the county. I very much want to, again, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for supporting me in my service. Thank you for being the committed community you are. And in all of our discussions and all of our beliefs, remember, those are issues. We are all individual people, and we love the same thing, and that's Pacifica. Thank you.
I think it's my turn now to present you with some things from council and to talk a little bit about the things you've brought to our beautiful city, Marianne. So first, I'd like to present you with the mayor's plaque that we get every year. Could open that.
Yeah. You know what's really cool? It has that new emblem on it. Thank you.
And the next item is a gift that's become a tradition of city council's picture you can go ahead and open it.
See, you guys want to keep Pacifica on the wall,
That's
right?
right. Beautiful picture from Sharon Walker.
We use Sharon Walker pretty consistently, so, yeah. And she does amazing work, so I'm always excited to see which one it is. Oh, I say my pier because I
backyard.
live in Sharp Park, right? Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then we got a little something for your backyard. It's from a Sharon Keating, another artist in our community.
Oh, my goodness.
It's so deserved.
Oh,
Don't have to.
that's so beautiful. Thank you. Oh, my God.
Well, I'll just start out by saying I have so much gratitude for you, Mary Ann, Mayor Nyhart, who has served this city so effectively and so professionally for the last 12 months as mayor of our city. You show your passion in everything you do for us, and you are so good at what you do. You know how to get the resources that we need. You know how to work relationships, and you form relationships with people that are so helpful to our community, but they're very honest relationships. She has strong relationships with so many community members and members in our region, as well as our San Mateo County Supervisor, Don Horsley, and all the San Mateo County Supervisors, and our State Senator, Jerry Hill, and our Congresswoman, Jackie Spear, and our Assemblyman, Kevin Mullen. And they all know they can go to Mary Ann or Mayor Nyhart, and she can go to them, and they will sit down and listen and do what they need to help Pacifica move forward. And it's just really been incredibly inspiring to watch you and the way you develop your relationships and the way you care about the community members out in Pacifica, that you've been here for over 35 years, I believe, and it just is demonstrated in everything that you do. As I said, you understand the importance of working collaboratively with so many members, and some of the things I had to write down. She has been involved in so many different committees for the past 12 months, and I know sometimes she talks about what they do, but the extent of it is pretty remarkable. As City County Association of Governments Chair, this is otherwise known as CCAG, and she's discussed it quite often during oral communications. She serves as chair, where she ensures that Pacifica is in line for the resources and grant funding for the most relevant and needed projects. And you mentioned a few, involving Linamar Boulevard repaving and the trails and a lot of other things that we simply wouldn't be on the map for getting if it wasn't for Mary Ann's input in those in those organizations. As the mayor has often discussed, CCAG works on issues that affect quality of life for all, including transportation, stormwater, air quality, climate change, and land use planning, among others. And as chair, she served on the finance, compensation, legislative, and administrative committees, all separate committees that she was part of. She also served on the chair of the Council of Cities, which creates a forum that occurs monthly, and they bring different issues, current issues that are important to council members and important to cities that council members go to. So she was a chair of that meeting, as well as the Council of Cities City Selection Committee, where they determine and they vote on other members of the county that will be part of very significant and important organizations such as LAFCO and SamTrans and Transportation Authority, and these very crucial committees that make very important decisions for the cities across the Bay Area. And Mayor Nyhart has really put us on the map for getting those resources and funding, and really allowing us to have a voice in the community. And I think I just can't emphasize enough how much that is appreciated. And I think she's also really educated many councils and before us and us about the importance of attending those very significant organizations and committees. So again, I appreciate you being such a passionate individual when it comes to the involvement in some of these regional boards. She's also very active in her own community as a council rep on the Pacifica Advisory Committee. She not only serves going to those council meetings every month, but she also created the Beautification Advisory Committee, and she's also on the Fog Fest Liaison Committee, as well as the Economic Development Committee, which she also created. So it's just been an incredible amount of work, and she's done a great deal for this community for the past year, and it is incredibly appreciated, I think, by all of us, and I think we all work well together and have been able to accomplish a great deal for the past year, and I can't thank you enough for your commitment to our city, and you were going to be a tough act to follow, and for whoever that may be, and
whoever.
I just appreciate everything that you've done for our community and for our city, so thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Stone. I'm still leading the meeting.
Yeah, a couple more minutes here. Thank you for everything this year, Marianne, and thank you, Karen, for listing all the many accomplishments for everyone. It's really important, I think, for the public to know how influential and how hard the council works, and I appreciate everything that you've done. And you know, working with you over the last 4 years has really been great. And to be honest, I think if it wasn't for us working together, half of the things that we've wanted to accomplish personally probably wouldn't have gotten done. And I think that was big. You know, in 2010, we were sitting around looking, saying, okay, how do we get some of these things done? You know, because, you know, regardless of Pacifica's political divides, we all agree on about 95% of things, and so sometimes the big things get in the way. And just getting the city into the 21st century on a lot of different things, most people agree with, but being able to put aside the things that we might disagree on and just really focus on that 95%, and being able to do that with you for the last 4 years has been a really great experience. And I think all the things that we talk about that are going to get done, some of the things that are on the plate of the city manager for over the next couple years that we're really excited about has been because you're a very collaborative council member, and I thank you for that. And you've done a fantastic job as mayor. Mayor's not a lot different always, except for leading the meeting and all that, except for that you have the ability to push things forward from a stronger seat, and you've definitely figured out how to work an agenda and to get things done, because it's so easy to talk into the microphone, but getting things done is a whole different thing, and you've done a fantastic job in that.
I'm going to go out of order and say that, you know, what people probably don't recognize is, and I didn't mention this, Councilmember Stone was on the Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee. And CCAG, the City and County Association of Governments, has many subcommittees. And those subcommittees review all the applications for the money prior to it getting to the main body, the executive board. And the executive board is made up of 21 elected officials. So organizing 21 elected officials, what can I say? But it's a lot easier when it comes from the committee up, already something that people are supporting. And Len, not only as a member of that committee, but as ultimately chair of that committee, you did a fantastic job of bringing money to Pacifica, and I can't thank you enough for that. You were very collaborative in that regard, so thank you. Councilwoman Degree?
That long list of achievements means it must have been awful easy. How can you possibly do all those things and have a full-time job and commute to all those meetings? So it looks and sounds easy, but it isn't. And those of you who are very aware of the financial conditions of our city and every other city is that it has been brutal to be able to stay afloat. It hasn't been easy. It's been tough on the staff. It's been tough on the community. It's been really difficult. The council has had to make really, really very painful decisions. So it hasn't been an easy year, and we congratulate each other and the mayor and the outgoing council member Stone. But it's a lot of hard work. It isn't easy, and we're not out of the woods yet. So, but I thank you for being there and hanging in, and onward.
You too, absolutely. Councilmember O'Neill.
Well, I think it's all been said before, so I'll just say good job.
Gravity works for me. Okay, so that brings us to, Len, you need to step down. And we need the oath of office for our newest member, Mr. Keener. We also have to swear in and we also need to swear in Councilmember Degree and Councilmember O'Neill, who were both re-elected.
So if you'll each state your name individually after I say aye, and we'll start with John Keener and Sue, and then you'll repeat after me. I
John Keener,
Sue Degree,
Mike O'Neill.
do solemnly swear
do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear
that I will that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank
And I'd like to present you with a certificate of election. Mr. Keener. I believe this is Sue's. And Mike O'Neill.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Congratulations.
Come up.
Too late now. Welcome.
Welcome. Would you like to say something? Any of you?
I got something to say. No? I'd just like to welcome John up here to the days, and I really like the fact that I'm not the only one in the back row anymore when they take a picture. Okay, so you'll be back there with me.
And Councilmember Degree?
Yes, welcome, John. Thank you very much for running. It's not easy to do that, and I really appreciate it, and your family too. And thank you to the community for all your hard work and dedication to your city. Thank you very much.
And Mayor, did you want to say something? Okay.
This is, John, it has a light on it.
So, Councilmember Keener.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming out tonight. I see a lot of familiar faces out there, including folks from PH1A, Pacificans for Highway 1 Alternatives. I'll just say that I'm proud to be a member and to stand with you. As a city council person, I'm subject to several statewide statutes designed to ensure fairness by elected officials, most importantly, the Brown Act, and I'm still getting used to exactly what I can say and what I can't say. The Brown Act and others do limit what I can say about issues that may come before the council until they actually do come before the council. The good news is I did a lot of listening to ordinary citizens as I knocked on about 7,000 doors during the campaign, and now I'll have to listen some more. My core values, environmentalism, a desire for openness and fairness in government, and respect for those less fortunate than ourselves, those values have not changed and will not change. And I would hope to accomplish not some big sweeping legacy project, but smaller things that will better some aspect of people's lives. As you know, our city budget is very limited and will probably remain so for a while at least. We on the council have to balance the revenues with the services that we have to provide, like sewer, police, and fire, or services we would like to provide. So I invite all of you to email me or one of the other council members or the city manager if you have ideas about how we can do better in this balancing act, even if it's a small thing, maybe especially if it's a small thing. Again, I thank you for coming, and I hope things keep getting better for Pacifica. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem?
I'd just like to congratulate and welcome Councilmember John Keener to the council. It's going to be wonderful working with you, and I'm really looking forward to it, as well as congratulating council members Mike O'Neill and Sue DeGree. Great to have you back, and I look forward to the upcoming year with all of you.
And I want to add my congratulations to a returning council member. And I only got to meet you and sit down for, a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And we managed to spend a couple hours talking, so it was, and I think we had more to say. So it was great. I look forward to serving with you, and congratulations. With that said, I need to call for the election of the new mayor. Councilmember DeGree. Sure.
I would be happy to nominate Mayor Pro Tem, what is your name? Karen Irwin. Terrible of me, excuse me, whatever happened to that. But anyway, so it is a real honest pleasure to nominate you.
Thank you, Sue.
I need a second.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And there's a little yes/no light down there. There you go.
Actually, it's not turned on, so we can take a verbal vote.
Okay.
It's not connected.
Aye. Those in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed? That passes unanimously 5-0. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And I have we need to do the nomination for the new Mayor Pro Tem, and Councilmember O'Neill has his light on.
I'd like to nominate Sue DeGree for Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you for knowing my name.
I've been sitting next to you for 2 years.
What was my
And Mayor Pro Tem?
I second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Please, all in favor? I forgot the lights. I can't do it without the lights.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And that passes unanimously, 5-0. And with that, the mayor and the new mayor pro tem can be sworn in.
Okay, so we,
Is that a separate thing?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Do you want to, last year we stood up here, but we can go out to the podium, whatever you want. What's easier for you, Kathy?
Sorry, I was putting something away. Could you repeat that?
Do you want them to stand up here or go out to the podium?
They can go out to the podium, that's
Okay.
fine.
I,
Sorry.
Karen Urban,
Sue Degree,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California,
That I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. This is a very humbling experience to be sitting before you as mayor of Pacifica. I was born and raised here, and the city has given me many, many opportunities throughout my life, and to imagine that I can sit here and serve the people of Pacifica is really humbling and yet very gratifying too, and I intend to give it everything I have to do a good job for all of you. I want to thank my colleagues on City Council and the Pacifica community for their support and confidence in my ability to lead. As many people know, there are 5 council members, and each council member is really good for 1/5 of one vote. And so we all are, important elements in making the decisions that are going to move our city forward, and we all have equal say. And so I just want everybody to know how much I appreciate working with you and the relationship we have and the ability that we have to go forward when we disagree or agree, and it's a very healthy relationship, and I'm thankful to all of you for providing it. I'd also like to extend my thanks to our city manager, Lori Tinfo, our newly hired assistant city manager, Lorenzo Hines, our city attorney, Michelle Kenyon, our city clerk, Kathy McConnell, and the entire city staff and all employees of the city who have been so dedicated to creating a healthy and vibrant quality of life for all Pacifica citizens. Thanks as well to the committees and commissions that work diligently on the many issues that are facing Pacifica in order to ensure that we continue to provide a high quality of life for all of our citizens. These include open space, beautification of our community, economic development, emergency safety and preparedness, land planning, and parks, beach, and recreation. Importantly, thank you to my loving family who has given me so much support throughout the years. I could not be here without you. So thank you, Mike, and thank you to my children, Zach and Allie, for always standing by me and allow me to follow through with this passion I have to serve the people of Pacifica. He is at least does half the work, so I really want to extend my appreciation to him. We have many assets in Pacifica that other communities really could only dream about. We have our amazing vistas and our trails. We have a community of volunteers and a city staff that is, bar none, the best that we could possibly have. They are here continuously for us. They are loyal, incredibly talented. We have high-performing schools, and we have just a very committed community that loves and cherishes this city. But at the same time, we also have many challenges that need to be addressed. Although we currently have a balanced budget and have eliminated a longstanding structural deficit, our financial well-being is precarious as our expenditures continue to rise faster than our revenues. We must work together to achieve an economically sustainable future. This has been a major focus of the City Council for several years, and we have made significant strides forward. Our new city manager, Lori Tinfo, has helped provide greater clarity with this process by providing a budget that has been very streamlined, and it's very easy to comprehend what the elements of the budget. She has allowed both City Council as well as all stakeholders the ability to fully understand our current fiscal situation and make educated decisions regarding our budget as we look towards the future. Council has created both a reserve policy for future unforeseen events and possible downturns, as well as a budget policy that states that we will not balance the budget using one-time revenues to fund ongoing expenditures. These are going to be very important policies and plans that we have going forward into the future to make sure that we sustain our economic viability. Recently, Council approved a new economic development manager position that we hope will lead city efforts to promote economic growth in Pacifica, and I look forward to working with this individual in 2015 for a very viable future. This year, we will make some significant determinations regarding where we are headed as a community. One of these is a policy regarding land use planning and will be part of a general plan update, which has not been updated in our city since 1980. So I consider this to be a very significant and important issue for Pacifica. The general plan update began in the spring of 2009 and has included several community forums. I look forward to completing this comprehensive update in a very transparent process and invite all stakeholders to attend all upcoming meetings regarding this plan. It is very important for all of our future. Additionally, we are facing decisions regarding a number of significant issues, a primary one being the Clara Creek Highway 1 widening project. Once again, the most important element here is that when these decisions are made, the process takes place in a most transparent way possible, with full public participation, and I very much look forward to engaging all stakeholders fully in this process and decision. Other significant issues that we can only address together as a community include climate change and how our local community may respond. I look forward to working with San Mateo County Board of Supervisors and our representative, Don Horsley, regarding how the community can best respond to and prepare for rising sea levels, coastal erosion, more dangerous storms, as we're seeing tonight, and other possible consequences to our coastal community. We must ensure that working with local, state, and federal agencies, we have the resources necessary to address the impacts of our rising seas. Primarily, with all of these issues, what will require most of all is communication and partnerships. Communication is an issue that has been at the forefront of our council objectives. 2 years ago, a communication plan was created by subcommittee led by former City Council member Ginny Jackwith and Council member Len Stone, and included focus group participants from the community. Together, the city manager and staff implemented the plan after receiving input from stakeholders and created a comprehensive plan that truly engages and informs the entire community. I know implementation of the plan will continue throughout 2015 and will further strengthen our relationship with one another and improve transparency and trust between the city and council, which will only help us together help us move forward as productively as possible. There are many other issues that need to be addressed in the City of Pacifica, including maintaining and improving our aging infrastructure, and importantly, the need for affordable housing in Pacifica, where we are beginning to see longtime residents displaced from their homes because they can no longer afford the cost of living here. And we need them as employees and business owners in our community to not only survive, but thrive. I strongly believe the best way forward will be with the partnerships that we develop with all of our stakeholders. The more engaged and educated we are on the issues, the more informed we are about our options and the path forward. The networks we create with local, regional, and state partners will determine how successful we will be in solving these social, economic, and environmental issues. In concluding, I would also like to really emphasize a couple key points. Many changes have taken place over the last 2 years on Council and in City Hall. Currently, 3 out of our 5 Council members are serving on their first term. We have a new City Manager, a brand-new Assistant City Manager, and the City Manager is in the process of hiring an Economic Development Manager, a Planning Director, a Finance Services Manager, and a Police Chief, in addition to many other positions on our staff. Decisions have been made and plans have been created that are currently being implemented. These include a new comprehensive communications plan that will serve to enhance trust, transparency, and customer service between the city and the community. A streamlined budget process that will add to increased transparency and trust. We will be evaluating our new reserve policy and ways we can fund it to create a more stable economic future. Our general plan will be updated for the first time in 35 years. Highway 1 plans will be evaluated. Many additional projects may come to fruition, including finalizing the purchase of property to build the Devil's Slide Trail, as well as finalize the marketing of the Beach Boulevard project. With the many projects and proposals coming to the forefront, I believe this year should focus on the continued implementation of all of our goals and plans, with emphasis on enhancing our communications and partnerships with all community members to move our city forward on behalf of all Pacifica citizens. I look forward to reaching out to our citizens and businesses as mayor by continuing the tradition of mayor walks, as well as establishing regularly scheduled meet the mayors or over coffee and in businesses to listen to the community and really discover what's on people's mind and what is the most concerning to them revolving around the issues. I will strive to be out in the public listening to all citizens and working with them on the matters most important to our community. I will also follow in the footsteps of our predecessors and reach out regionally to ensure that we have the strong relationships we need to garner the resources that we need for this city. I very much look forward to working with this council, and I very much look forward to working with all of our citizens. And I am here, I am listening, and I will do my best to represent you and put the best foot forward. Thank you very much.
No, it's your job now.
Okay, I know, I'm saying.
You've got a light.
Okay, I have a light, so.
Right, and I'm
Sue?
sure we're all here to support you, and I just want to say to everyone that it is definitely humbling, and I would say scary, to be on council and to be Mayor Pro Tem. And if it wasn't for how involved you all are and willing to speak up, I think it would be even more scary. So I really appreciate that you do that. And also, I tend to be very optimistic, even though, as said before, these are not going to be easy years. Certainly this one isn't going to be an easy year. But I also like to look forward to all of you and put some focus on the things that we already have, obviously our natural resources, but also our history and our culture. And I like to see, I already believe that those 3 things and our small businesses keep us afloat. And I think if we highlight them a little bit more, I would really like to see that. So, and I thank all of you for being there for us.
Thank you. That I don't see any other lights, so would anyone like from the...
No.
No.
Invite them for cake.
Oh, thank you. We have cake in the back, and we would very much appreciate if you stayed and celebrated with us on our new year. Looking forward. Thanks again to everybody for coming. Thank you.